think, and I said this before to you, Danny, in conversation, I just wasn't aware of how much I didn't know about digital marketing until I started working with you and Danny. And it was such a great learning experience. I mean, I started off on the wrong foot when I was building those graphics. It's like, no, you can't do this and you can't do that. And we have to do A/B testing. I'm like, going, "Rrr, rrr. Let me, pivot to the left or to the right? Because I don't know what I'm doing." It was enough to make me want to learn more. And I thought it could be an advantage in my career moving forward if I knew more about digital marketing, because that's the future, right? So you emailed me, or I don't know if it's part of a mass email, I don't know. Or I talked to you. It was after, I left Houston Public Media. And I think we were having a conversation. We talked and you said that you were starting this academy. And I said, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm not doing anything right now, but looking for another job. And so I thought while I could, and since it piqued my curiosity, I knew there was so much for me to learn, and I knew you and I trusted you, right? So that's why I took the leap. I just said, why not? What's the worst that can happen? I could learn something, and I can use it in my career moving forward. And it has helped me so much, even though right now in my current position, I'm not responsible for digital marketing. We have well-defined tiers. There's communications, there's creative, and then there's marketing. And while we support each other and partner and work on projects together, I'm not responsible for digital strategy. What it does for me is I come to the table from a position of knowing, right? None of the words are ambiguous or vague or unclear to me. I know exactly what the digital marketer is talking about when he talks about the funnel or when he talks about any of his strategy. I understand, and I am able to, if the opportunity presents itself, I am able to ask, "Have you tried this or have you tried that?" I was certified in Google Ads. Uh, And so it's like, oh, okay, Vicky knows this stuff. Even though it's not my responsibility, I do. I come to the table just because of my experience, with ODEO Academy, just because of the program that I went through. I am so much more aware and so much more prepared to have those kind of conversations about digital strategy, or to even be able to be someone who can voice a different perspective or a different you know, take on things. And I was able to, I think I'm able to, I think we were in a meeting once, and the digital strategist was talking about, well, I've tried this and that, and that's not going to work. And so I was able to say, well, did you try this? Or, well, did you think about this? And so it was just great. And I think we got out of that meeting, and my second in charge, he called me, he says, "Oh, that was really cool." I said, yeah, but I gave him something to think about. People appreciate that. They're always looking for another voice to help them think through things. I mean, we don't live in silos, right? And digital marketing or digital strategy is something that can use several perspectives, right? And so I am not unafraid to, I could be completely wrong, but at least I'm giving him something to think about, right?
One of the things that I think about, going back to when you took the course. So, a lot of people are afraid, like, oh, I'm a creative and I don't know if I can do digital marketing. Is it all analytical? But you know what? When we took the course, so there was one topic, and I'm sure you'll share with us, but schema markup, which is like really, really technical. But honestly, like when Vicky learned about it, she's like, she fell in love. It's like, wow, this is amazing. And can I learn more? We even we contacted a company and they provided another free course to for Vicky. It was amazing. But
Who
it's just,
knew?
who knew? But it just shows you some people think that if you're creative, you can't get into the technical. But I actually think those two things are married so well, right? The creative and
Well,
the analytical work so well.
it's two sides of the brain. And if I had not taken your course or been involved in it at all, I never would have known anything about that. I never would have known that I had the ability to think on that level. It was so natural to me. That and writing Google Ads, that was pretty. I mean, it was a time of discovery, Danny. It really was. I thought, wow, okay, maybe I can make a real career change. I have to start at the bottom, right? But that's okay if I really want to make the change. But I knew that it just opened so many doors for me in my head, right? Like I didn't even know the term schema. If you ask me about scheme anything, I would think of rhyme scheme of a poem, right?
Right.
It's totally different, but not. Yeah, I just never knew that I had the ability. And then here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When I think about it now, when you say that, when I first started college, I was actually a math major.
Mm,
I was actually a math major.
not
I
surprising.
didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I reached a level that I just didn't understand. And so I said, well, I know art, I can become a designer, right? But it makes sense now. And I just thought about that right now. But those were the things that most intrigued me and most surprised me and made me want to explore more. Really, really did. And I still might, right? You still have other courses that I can take. But unfortunately, I ended up getting a job. And so all my time was pretty much taken. But I was grooving on that, wasn't I, Danny? I really was.
You totally.
I was
That's why I compare to people like when they come to take the course, it's like the Matrix for those who haven't seen the movie. But like you take the blue pill, and your life stays the same. You take the red pill, and everything changes. And honestly, that's what it is, right? It like opens your eyes, opens these doors in your mind that you never thought about. The possibilities are there, and I think also, like you said, like that confidence, right? Like literally, you can walk in, and even though that might not be your job, but now you can actually be at the table. And like I love to say, like, I really am proud of you. Like it's just it's amazing. I know that when you were taking the course, it was a little bit of a difficult time of your life. But instead of like sitting down and kind of moping around, you're like, no, I'm gonna do something good. And you channeled the energy in a very positive way, and you found out all these amazing things about yourself, and it turned into something successful. And like you said, we're still in the middle of the story. We don't know where it's going to end up. So
we don't know. The story's not over, right? The
no, it's
story's
not.
not over. And I tell you, and I say this over and over and over again. I think and I'm not, this is not a testimonial or anything like that, but I would advise anyone in any industry to take your course, right? I think it can benefit anyone, no matter what they're doing, to have some knowledge of how things are done, and in the world today, to grab your attention, what's actually happening to make you want to click, what's going on in the background. I think those things are very, very enlightening. Oh, that's why blah, 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 blah. That's why I like that picture instead of that picture. I think, yeah, it would be a benefit to anyone in any industry to actually take your course. It really was so beneficial for me. And one might say, well, because you're in creative and because you're in marketing, yeah, that's why it makes sense for you. But you could take someone in the oil industry and I think it would benefit them, if they could come into their organization and say, you know what? I'm taking this course. And because of this course, I am able to do A, B, and C, right? And learn and develop and grow in that area. And I tell you, it could take your life on a whole different trajectory, right? And that's the possibility that your course opened for me. Just something new. It was exciting. It really was. And I still get excited when I think about it, because that was just a really cool time for me. As you said, it was difficult, but I needed something to keep me busy. And it just was the timing, right? At the right time. Here I was, I had all this free time and you had this course. So why not? And then I just learned so much about myself, Danny. I really did. And I'll never regret it or forget it. And it could, like you said, like we said here, the story's not over. The story's not over.